Welcome to the Blessed Teach Show. This is Rick, your host, here on Sunday night on November 10th, day before Veterans Day. Thanks to all our veterans. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about, I was joking with some other people and sent out a bomb
show. This
video
Rick, your
that
host,
talks about,
here
hey,
on
Sunday night
wow.
on November 10th.
And I've got
day
noise
before
going. I know that
Veterans Day.
sometimes
Thanks
that
to
happens
all our
when I
veterans.
need
Today
to
we're going to be
pause
talking
this
a little
right
bit.
here.
There we go. I had double voices going on me. But anyway, I was joking about how, do you have a crazy family? And do you need a guide to survive the holidays with your crazy family? I think all of us have some types of relatives that will be together sometimes during the holidays that are real difficult, especially when you feel unequally yoked in your relationship sometimes alone, sometimes just disrespected, but more importantly, we're just not getting people to listen to us, right? And so that's what this module is about: how to impact and how to win and impact the ungodly world is the overall series of the Cultural Impact System that you can find out more about. If this is your first video looking at on this, you can go back underneath below and you can see links to video 2 and video 1, as well as the PDFs that are associated with that. I'll be going over the PDF on V2. But anyway, line up your questions. Do you have any questions at all? It helps if you put the @ and blessed to teach with no spaces. I think that will highlight it in red for me and I can see the sign a little better. But I'll try to keep up with the comments as we go here. And we'll kind of sneak through the PDF that I presented last night and just open it up for questions, right? We had some great questions when I was on it was a premiere, so I could type with you guys. It was some great discussions. But remember, it's vital to understand the other person's personality type in order to adjust your style toward them. It's also really important to understand your personality type and social style. So, because that's your default, and you're going to have to be careful of not always using your default, especially when you're talking to somebody in the other personality type. So we simplify this to only 4 versus the 16. So this is a different way of thinking. I think a lot of people, think about this completely wrong. I think you need to be thinking about it in a much more simplistic way so you can use it every day. When you have 16 of them, you can't process that mentally. Most people talk about you can remember 3 things, right? They talk about that. I'm challenging you to you can know 4, right? But any more than 4, it gets incredibly complex. That's why this system works extremely well, especially in the class when we're going to combine it with spiritual gifts. It'll help me build great teams for you guys later. But this focus is more like the crazy family. As you go into the holidays, how can you plant some seeds about the Lord you love, the country you love, and really what's going on with the deep state and all this mess? What we often call red pilling, right? So let's dig into it a little bit. And then, again, line up any questions that you have. I see Cheryl and On, Merritt, Scoop, thank you for being moderators. Rose, talking about, I'll look that up, Rose. I haven't seen that. I see Jesus Christ is the Messiah, Son of God. Thanks so much. And Esteban and Cathar and a bunch of other people from Lubbock and Central Pennsylvania and Northern Illinois. And thank you guys all for being on. Let's get into this. I'm going to quickly just review the PowerPoint, not nearly as detailed as what we did last time, so I'll switch over to this display. But this is the vital part of I believe, that needs to be adjusted when you're talking to people about whether to red pill or not. Now, backstage, my son Josh gave his 9 points of red pilling that might be helpful as well. But I'm going to really get into how you adjust your message, especially during the holidays. You first of all want to bond with your family before you start talking about any of this stuff, obviously. But then also to be able to plant some seeds based upon their personality style. So again, it's a simple framework, and to basically understand you're another personality type so that you can better communicate. That's what we want to do. We just want to better communicate a few points to our family, whether it's about the Lord our God or it's about, again, the truth of the world, without being disrespected and without unbonding, right? Killing the bonding that with your family. It's all like to better understand how others operate and how they're more likely to listen. That's the whole key. is more likely to listen, right? So this will be as far as teams and when you go out to the world where you're talking to influencers as well. So it's all a lot about the teams as well. That's why we'll get into team giftings. That'll be a later module in the class, etc. I'm focusing on these two big bullet points first. And again, like I said, this is a different way of thinking. I really think it's wrong to try to get into 16 personality types for the average person, because 95% of people I talk to don't use personality types because it's too complex. And I think we can get the primary on people and really make as much effect if you just learn these 4 styles. Not too hard either. All you're looking at is, hey, this person really a facts person, they love facts, or do they really more of an emotional person? They love people and it's more emotional thing. Pretty easy black and white thing that most people will lean one way or the other. They might be 55% or they might be 90%. But the point is not many people are exactly 50-50 on that. Same thing with, are they a real deep thinker? They're kind of slow. They're slow to make decisions and talking and moving. They're versus somebody that talks like me really fast, right? And they think fast and they move fast, right? And if you can understand this simple matrix, you can peg people pretty easy. And I'll show you how to adjust. And I'm going to flip it to here where it's basically just says, hey, if you are a fast thinking person, that's facts first, you're a shark, right? So this is what we went over in more detail on the video. So I'm not going to go to detail last time, but again, these people want to win. Dolphins want to have fun. Their emotion, think fast. They're the life of the party, right? Urchins don't make decisions fast. They crave information and facts, and they will really think through things before they make a decision. And then a whale loves people, and they're also going to think through things, and they're more emotional. They're not as worried about the facts. And my wife clearly is primary here and secondary here, right? And her sister's very similar. But me, I like results, but I also like to research things. So I'm a primary here and secondary here. But what's your primary? So type in there what you really think your primary is, and then any relative you're going to be with this holiday, what are they? And because it's important to understand your personality type just so you understand this matrix. But it's vital that you understand anybody that you'd like to plant a few seeds. Again, you're not going to probably red pill somebody overnight, just like you're not going to bring them to Christ overnight, right? So what are you? What do you think you are? Margaret thinks she's a whale, right? And what do you and then what do you think your a specific relative is, right? You don't have to name them, but so Cathar, you're an urchin, right? So you know that you like information, you like facts. You're not going to make a decision just based on emotion right away, right? You want facts, and you're going to think through things, and you're going to analyze the facts before you make a decision, right? This is attention to detail person. They make very good consultants. It's a big characteristic we had when I was a partner at Accenture. We would look for that characteristic. Some urchins make really good consultants, as an example. Now, from an entrepreneurial basis, a lot of sharks do better because they make decisions faster sometimes. But again, you need all these on a team, right? But again, I'm going to focus in the course, in class, we'll focus a lot on the team. And so you can work great together as a team, and you can know who you're trying to influence, what they are, and we'll adjust our messages when we're sending emails out, when we're having meetings, etc. So this will be a real critical part to understand, but you can use it for the holidays as well. So let's talk about that. Children, hey, how are you doing? Family is dolphin, Cathar says. So that's interesting, because when you're an urchin, Cathar, and I may be pronouncing that I'm wrong. I apologize, but if you're an urchin, you have these facts and it just makes sense to you. This is what happened to me when I became a Christian. I wanted results. I wanted to tell everybody else about I was a Christian and that I had all these facts I overshared, I didn't adjust my message at all, right? And so I learned. I had to adjust my approach significantly when it came to sharing Christ. And the same with red pilling. People are even more sensitive, right? And so I'm an urchin and my dad is a shark, which makes sense now. Yeah, so again, since you're the urchin, you're going to be you're going to really analyze things together, and your dad's not going to be as much interested in really analyzing everything and slowly thinking through things. He's going to just make his decision right away, right? That's what we talk about adjusting. If you're talking to somebody, you got to be really concise, right? And the good news is you're both facts, so he'll respect something that could be factual. Now, obviously, we know because of the mainstream media, if they're blue pillars, I say they believe in the mainstream media. He who controls the media controls the mind. So they're highly controlled. They're not going to believe your facts. So you have to figure out how to take some things that he would consider facts, like the mainstream media about Epstein. Epstein's a great topic, by the way, a great topic for blue pill people, right? Because why? Because it's a fact, and they don't, and a lot of the mainstream media is reporting on it, so you don't have to. They won't reject it right offhand, right? As one example of many. I like really trying to hit their core of the mainstream media. So let's get into that. So here's what I suggest about adjusting your approach for a shark. Good that Jesus Christ is the Messiah, Son of God. Your handle, your handle there. You talked about your dad's a shark. So here's what I suggest: is that, again, don't be long-winded and focus on facts versus emotion. So you're not be talking about the emotional things about people getting hurt and all like that. You're gonna be focused more on like the facts about it versus wow, this family was separated type thing, right? You're gonna be really focusing on those type of things, and so that goes with both sharing God as well as sharing your faith. Your blue pill to red pill information. Bonding. Now you want to make sure you do this first. Just hang out with your dad. Talk about his success. Talk about results that he's gotten. Maybe talk about results you've gotten. Bond with him first. Again, this is basic philosophy. Even Aristotle taught. And you'll never be able to convince anybody of anything unless they trust you. So try to and that part of that is that bonding that you need to have. Then, and I'm looking to see if there's any other questions, but I think this is a good lead-in for JC's question. And so MSM 4am talking points is a beautiful thing if you can really quickly talk about that and get them to see. Look at the phrase. My favorite example is when Trump went to Houston, Texas during Hurricane Irma for 3 or 4 days. Trump has a lack of empathy. A very specific point that was used across all mainstream media, across all the channels, CBS, ABC, even parts of Fox News, as well as New York Times and with the Washington Post. Get them to think about that. Same phrases every day. The Q proofs can sometimes be effective. Just real quickly to go see some of that. And again, QAnon, I'm not recommending you bring up real early. I focus on MSM first before I get to this and get to Trump. And focus on just he who controls the mind, he controls the media. Some great videos out there to help you get smart on that. Right? I like the whole things about the JFK files and the 50 years later we were lied to. And most people understand we were lied to about that, and educate them on the conspiracy theory label, right, is another example. And then when you get into faith, it comes about the reliability of the Bible, Proverbs and success. Most people don't understand the facts of how to get to heaven, right? Really getting them to understand just faith alone is a factual thing that they might consider. The whole textual and archaeology and prophecy part of the reliability of the Bible is an important thing that they might know. And it is Proverbs on success can be a big effect on your sharks, right? We'll talk about teams more in the course and the classes as we work together to do things, but the sharks make extremely good leaders, and they overcome obstacles and understand the competition. They create vision, and they can get results in the cell, right? Now, an urchin, again, if you're an urchin, you're gonna be doing things that are talking a lot more detail than what your shark wants to hear, and you're gonna want to take more time on one subject, and they're gonna want to take a lot less time on each subject. Now, if you're an urchin, if you're talking to an urchin, you want to adjust this. You want to focus on facts versus emotion, just like sharks, but spend the time to provide the details. You need to spend time, attention to detail. Do not say something that you can't back up with a link and a fact. Right, from a source they trust. That's hard to do when the mainstream media has given them all false facts, right? But you want to bond with them first, and that is talk about their interest with facts and evidence. right? Oh, where'd you learn that? And let them explain. And don't push them to make any quick decisions, right? And just bond and hang out with them and listen to them, right? And then obviously, back to Mockingbird Media, but now you have time to give the whole CIA background, how they sold drugs into Harlem, the JFK files, and all kinds of other things. They'd also probably be interested in the Socratic method, where an anon just ask him questions, right? And then QProofs.com, how they links to Trump. Facts on reliability of the Bible. Again, now you get into more detail. You're going to talk about textual criticism because they'll take the time. Archaeology, prophecy. I have a whole class on this, but the whole point is to really dig into this with the person that wants facts. And the truth of the gospel, again, is a great one. Again, it's a factual stuff you're focused on, not the emotions, right? And so again, I'm looking back up. Caffeine Addict. I've never had a father. I'm 60. Did some digging and found out my biological father was a Mason and buried in a Masonic cemetery. Oh, ouch, Caffeine Addict. But again, let me know what you think your family's is. You're gonna be with in this holidays, right? Is it an urchin, a shark, or a whale, or a dolphin? Here's a dolphin. Now, if you're talking to a dolphin, these are the life of the party people. They're gonna have a short attention span as well. But they are all more emotional than sharks. So you really want to focus on the emotional side. All right. So I think somebody was saying they were urchin and their family's dolphins. And so here's your trick. You're going to want to spend time and get into details of facts, and they're going to just want to have a fun time. So the first thing you're going to do is bond. Have fun with them. And don't destroy the fun by bringing up deep subjects or conflicts during the, during the fun. So make sure you're trying to just have fun with them and enjoy them early on. But when you're planting seeds, they have to be quick because they're going to be they got to be emotional and they've got to be concise, right? I love the Mockingbird Media for all the time because that's how we have to wake them up when it comes to red pilling. If they don't understand that they're being lied to, and because it's emotional now, lying to control your mind, that's kind of an emotional thing. It can sometimes be factual, but it's just this often. I don't want to be controlled. I love people. I want people, to see what I mean? That is one thing that a dolphin usually would, once they understand he who controls the media controls the mind, and that they're trying to do that, that's going to take fun out of things, right? So a dolphin will be affected. God loves us and wants a personal relationship with us. That's obviously an emotional thing. That's what you want to do when you're with a dolphin. And these dolphins, remember, Proverbs around verses of love and joy. That's what they're all about. They love people and they want joy and fun. So there's all kinds of Proverbs and some Psalms that are on joy and love, but you got to be concise when you're sharing it. You can't sit there and say, take a lot of time. They have short attention span. Having shorter verses that actually touch about this and maybe resonate with them might really help from a perspective of sharing your faith. Again, these are great promoters. They're outside networkers. They're outstanding networks. They bond and they have fun together and bringing energy to the team. So that hopefully helps the. I can't remember I think it was Qatar. That was the urchin with a bunch of dolphins. And I hope that makes sense. Now, if you look at the whale. They love people. They make decisions as a team. They're great listeners and mediators. Again, if you have whales in the family, they love people. I have a lot of these in my family. You gotta plant seeds with emotion versus facts. So they don't want to hear tons of facts. A little bit maybe here and there, but it's got to be very. And again, they like to make decisions and think through things. So you got to spend time explaining patiently. Again, with people in mind and how things affect people, you got to change it to that perspective. Now, because they love people, you need to spend time listening to their story in life and share your life with them. So be sure to bond with them again before you try share your faith and red pill. And again, I love MSM, controlling your minds just like the dolphins, so they can rule us. They don't like people ruling over them. God wants a personal relationship with you, and obviously verses on love is a big thing for especially when it comes around people, loving people, right? That is the whale. But this is the big question, guys. Can you just use this matrix, facts versus emotion, and methodical thinking, talking, moving slower versus fast thinking, talking, moving. If you get this down in your head, understand what you are, and that let's say you're a dolphin, you're going to be not worried about facts. Well, your urchin family they need facts, so you're going to have to adjust your style to them. And just like we talked about with Cathar, he's going to have a lot of facts that they're really not that interested in. Has to turn those facts into how they are emotional, and instead of taking a lot of time and thinking and through it, you have to just hit them with some very concise things. So you can adjust all the way around here to help survive the holidays, right? And what's awesome about this, if you practice this, it'll work really well in the cultural impact system and how to affect the ungodly world as a team, because we'll be working together as a team. With that, I'm going to flip back over to the cameras a little bit. So again, the discussion I'd like is name a family member of what you think they are, and then we'll discuss and what you are. And but the most important thing is, what is the family member or a relative or a friend that you're going to have over or whatever. And I know JC, you're talking about JC is the Messiah. I know you're talking about this. See, I'm doing everything except finding red pill facts to undo the blue pill he swallowed. It's hard because he fights me on everything I say to him, and he hates Trump. Yeah, so somebody that hates Trump, and again, it's because the media told him that Trump is a bombastic idiot, tells him that 97% of the day. So until you knock down the media, you're never going to probably have an effect on it, right? So it's like people that fall in a cult. Until I show them the cult leader is lying to them, you're not going to have any effect on them. So what I would do there is to really focus on the mainstream media facts. And so I have a video out there called the 15 Reasons We Don't Trust the Media. There's a lot of quick facts there that you could use. My part of the Cultural Impact System, Sharon Becerra and her team, General Gene and others have a raw truth media, and their first video is going to be on Operation Mockingbird, right? So that'll be coming out soon as well, and so that'll be one as well. So let's see. Friend for the holidays, a whale, says Cathar. Yeah. So now I think you were an urchin, right? So your tendency is going to be different from your friend in that you're going to be facts and she's more emotion. So if you can twist the information you'd like to share, a couple nuggets of information, but flip it into the emotion. How's it affecting people? Okay, this is the fact. Look what's happening. How's that affecting the people? And so take the information that you know well, and can kind of flip it into that. The good news is you both like to think through things. So you could have a longer conversation than you can have with friends and family over here. So that would be a really good way to peg it. And I think it's so awesome that right now you guys were able to quickly find out what you were primarily, right? Everybody has a little bit of everything in them, but you usually have a primary and a secondary. So Cathar was able to say, hey, I'm primarily this, and I have family that's this, and I have a friend that's this. So you know that when you get all these facts and you're completely convinced, that's not going to work on these guys. Those facts have to be turned into emotional type statements, very concise over here to your family, but you can spend more time and build on it more with more emotion for your friends that are whales. This is an incredibly helpful framework that I believe people just did not leverage when they could easily use it. And I think it's because we're thinking about it wrong. We thought about the Myers-Briggs and these 16 things, and that's really helpful for these 5% of the people that can remember that, the 5% who really are focused on it. But I took many of those and never used it because it was just too complex. This one I use, and it's fun to use, and we can joke about it. When you're a team, you can talk about, yeah, we're going to meet next week with a dolphin. Yeah, we need to have some fun with that person before we present our idea, right? Or, hey, team, and usually you want well-balanced teams that has all 4 characters in it, and they're going to say, hey, team, we're going to be going to meeting with a urchin. We need to get our facts together. Let's get all those facts together. We need a lot of it. And you know what? We know they're not going to make a decision right away, so we probably should have a follow-up meeting after we meet with them the first time. right? Because they're going to want to think through it. Let's not force him to try to make a decision, he or she, right? Those are the type of things that can be really, really helpful. And again, you can think of your family like that too. What are you? And you're going to err. Like if I'm a whale, I am an emotional person. I don't like to make decisions fast. And so I might completely come out off to a shark as it's like direct opposite, right? What are you thinking, right? There goes my doorbell. I'm sure my dog's going to be barking here soon. But anyway, hope that helps you think through. There's Rocky barking. This. See if there's a couple of. I missed half the replay. Hey, Lolo. That's what I've been left with. All I can do is pray for him and plant the seeds, telling him the truth about what's actually happening and will happen. Still love him mostly from a distance, though. Yeah, JC is the Messiah. Exactly right. Bond with him and try to attack. I would send most of your little nuggets you're posting as concise information about the Mockingbird media. I'd become an expert on the Mockingbird media and Operation Mockingbird, what it really means. And what happened with the JFK files that showed the Operation Mockingbird was true, and really dig into the JFK files that showed that, and take little bits and pieces and let them know about the 4 AM talking points and the phrases. And so he'll start thinking about that in his mind when he starts listening to all this mainstream media. Right. So, Dad, are you being controlled by that's what people say, and get the person that actually had the quote of because the sharks like facts about he who controls the mind controls the media. So that's not off the top of my head. It probably should be on yours, JC, if you want to have an effect on your dad. Sad thing is when Christian mom. See, this is sad thing. I'm looking at S. Hudal. It says, and sad thing. When you see your Christian mom change due to news and believe how bad Trump is, she's 78 and her and my father have always been Democrats. But I watched and listened for years. Yeah, exactly. So people that are Democrats most of the year, again, you might want to think about sharing the walkaway movement of people that are at their age. There's the walkaway movement videos. If they're African American, do the Blexit thing with Candace Owens. If they're in the black community, those are things if you have long-time Democrats. But again, Candace and others do a great job of exposing the media. The media is being exposed as fools right now in the impeachment hearing. That might be another one. But Epstein's probably the best. If I take topics, MSM and Epstein are the 2 biggest red pill topics. And then I gave you a bunch of verses, etc., of what to do. With that, I hope that this kind of gives you an idea. If anybody has any questions, make sure you put them down below. I'll be all over this video. If you're actually watching the replay of this, here is. So anyway, obviously my dog's going. My dog's crazy, and there's probably somebody at the door. So I got to wrap this one up. But I just wanted to wrap it up with a quick prayer. Heavenly Father, just allow us to enjoy our families this weekend. I pray for the veterans and just thank you for their service. Lord, I just pray that this holiday season can be a season where more people wake up to the truth about the world as well as the truth about the true Lord and God, our Almighty, our true gospel. And may each person listen to my voice now able to use this personality to help make it a less stressful holidays and actually make some impact and not be as disrespected and not feel as alone. And Lord, I pray that if you feel led, get into this cultural impact system so you can be part of a community of people helping each other. And I say these things in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, guys, you are awesome, and we will catch you next time. Obviously, if you're listening to the video, put your comments down below, and what's your family member, and any questions you have, and I'll get to those answered. You guys take care. Love y'all. You have a great week.